Hey guys, and welcome back to Gregtech New Horizons. Over the last few episodes, we've been working towards trying to produce cetane boosted diesel here. We now have our upgraded farm to farm IC2 crops, along with the addition of this goldfish plant, which we need more of, but it's not very easy to get the seeds at the moment. The goldfish are sent into this fluid extractor to give us fish oil, which is then chemical reacted with ethanol and tiny piles of sodium hydroxide. This gives us biodiesel, which is then stored in the tank, and then buffered into our large chemical reactor for cetane. This is just meant as a supplementary system to the oil here, since the other side of the cetane, the fuel, which goes in the top side here, comes out of this distillation tower and these two chemical reactors here, and well, oil is not infinite, whereas goldfish are. We do need some more seeds of course, but that's something that I'll keep working on between episodes. So what is our goal today? Our goal is to reach the moon. But I don't think we're going to get there today. We still have a lot of things to build, starting with the NASA Workbench, which we looked at a few episodes ago. The first part for the NASA Workbench, a display. Very easy. Alright, that is one of 9 items. The next part we need is hard walls. Also something that's very easy now that we have energetic alloy. We mix this with some wet concrete in a chemical bath. And this gives us item number 2. So far not that bad, right? Next on the list is the HV assembling machine, which we already have, but we will craft another for this. Okay, we start with the HV components, which is going to take a lot of electrum wire for the motors. And we should have done this a long time ago, but we're also going to add input chests here for the HV machines, just to make the batch crafting a bit easier, since we need so many stacks of these things. More stainless rods, more stainless plates. We've used up basically all of the resources in the last few episodes, so yeah, we're starting from scratch with a lot of these components. Yeah, you know what, I think we're going to go all the way with this, and we're just going to chest it up underneath all of the machines. It doesn't look as nice, but there's going to be time for aesthetics later. We need functionality here. Okay, more HV motors, 2 pistons, 2 robot arms. Oh, we need circuits for this. Actually, I didn't check our circuit count. We have 3. No! 3 HV circuits ain't going to do us today. Wait, we have 4. Let's see if we can at least get the assembly machine. I don't think 4 is enough for an assembly machine. Actually, it is just enough. Look at this. The HV assembly machine. Alright, that's 4 of 9 items off the list. The next 2 is the IV circuits, which we do actually have. We made our mainframes 2 episodes ago, I think. So that just leaves the last 3 items, which is the robot arms. And the multi-purpose robot arms take more HV robot arms, which take more HV circuits. So I think we should take a little detour here. So to make the HV circuits, we need some more circuit boards, which needs sodium persulfate or iron 3 chloride. We used to make sodium persulfate right on this block here, somewhere around here, but it's gone. So we need a new setup for this. Not anything super complicated, just something to get us through today. But yeah, basically what we have here is a drawer buffering iron and empty cells. That is pulled by a conveyor module into the chemical reactor, mixed with hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid we're just taking from this super tank buffer that we have right now. I think that was actually a byproduct of making sodium persulfate before. But yeah, the iron 3 chloride is then buffered in this tank, which we can use to craft. And the hydrogen cells go into this fluid tank, which actually has a trash can below this. We're just going to trash the hydrogen. This hydrogen gas we can actually cycle back into another chemical reactor, mix that with some more chlorine, and that will give us some more hydrochloric. But we don't really have a way to produce chlorine right now, at least not a setup for it. We may get to that today. Hello spider, you mad? No, I think he's chill. Also, as part of these HV circuits, we can use our polyvinyl chloride, which we made last episode. We can turn these into foils mixed with polyethylene fluid in the assembling machine and some aluminium foils. And this will give us the SMD capacitors. We previously didn't have any way to produce these things, but this is a much better way than using the regular capacitors here, which take polyethylene sheets and aluminium foil. Other than that, it's really just about grinding out the rest of these materials. I don't think anything else should give us any trouble here. So yeah, let me make up some circuits, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've spent a good hour crafting these processors, and we have 54 circuits, maybe? Yeah, more SMDs. I want to make 54 of these HV circuits. I did top up our SMD supply, at least for most of them. We don't have any more of these diodes, but I do think we have some platinum spare to craft more of these things. But yeah, with the double circuit assembler and now the fact that we have HV machines means that this process goes a bit quicker. And I think next time we do this, we will set up some more infrastructure in here, maybe some fluid extractors and some more assembling machines to make this even more smooth. But yeah, 54 HV circuits should be enough for us today. Alright, and some more gathering of HV component materials gives us 3 more robot arms. We need our pistons, our motors, long stainless rods. We also need the EV circuits, which we should have crafted by now. Yeah, we have 1 to spare. There is also these sensor lenses, which take a few more HV circuits. I think we had to craft these as part of the nano suit. It was one of the pieces. I think it was these night vision goggles. These lenses are really not that bad once we have the circuits. There's 2 and 3 sensor lenses, which leaves the most difficult part, and this is the nether star plates. So we need effectively 1 block of nether stars to be able to cut into 9 plates. So yeah, we did attempt to get some nether stars a couple of episodes ago with not much luck. Although I've been doing some research, and by research I mean consulting the resident Thaumcraft expert on our Discord channel. Thank you, Metis. So we're going to try this thing again. What we're basically trying to do here is create balanced shards in the Thaumcraft Crucible. These we can then grind into Salus Mundus, and the Salus Mundus we can mix into null catalysts. Yeah, this is the recipe right here. So with the null catalyst we get 2 per craft, and this we can assemble with the Salus Mundus into nether stars. It's also important here that you do need the research for shard recrystallization under the alchemy tab. So from what I understand, we need 4 of each of the crystal shards from Thaumcraft, with our magnet disabled of course. 4 of each crystal shard, 5 iron ingots, and 5 crystal powder. Oh no, I missed one. Okay, we got balanced shards. That didn't go so well, didn't it? I don't know what was left. I don't know if that's the right recipe or not. Hook up the water, let's do this again. Okay, that was a bit more smooth. Yeah, we ended up with 8 balanced shards, and I think we need a couple of stacks of these at least. And we get some thaumium out of this as a byproduct as well. Oh, and we even picked up our quest here. I think the extra balance shards, or the extra fire shards we got the first time, was because we threw in Ignis crystal powder. You can use any of the crystal powder for this. But I think what happened there is, because we have shard recrystallization, and we ended up with Vitreous in the cauldron, when we threw in the crystal powder, it gave us the shard back. Well, somehow we ended up with some purple goo inside the cauldron there, but we do have enough balance shards. I believe it's 2 stacks and 16 of balance shards we have to melt. Well, we craft the Salus Mundus, we can also make our null catalyst with our one and only nether star. Then we put one of the null catalysts along with some Salus Mundus to give us another nether star. Then we pulverize the nether star, which will give us 1 piece of dust. We turn this into tiny piles of nether star. Then we craft the tiny dust into more null catalysts, and we basically just repeat this process until we have enough nether stars. Nope, I miscounted. Somehow we ended up with not enough Salus for this. Aha, 9 nether stars. Compress into the block, and send through the cutting machine to give us our plates. I didn't actually check the recipe requirements for the cutting machine, but we can even do this at LV tier, which is surprising. And finally, we have the robot arms, which enables us to complete our NASA Workbench. I was about to say, that was a very disappointing fireworks show right there. One little firework for the NASA Workbench. But of course, this is only the beginning. So this is what we're going to use to craft the rocket itself, but we do still need its components. I shouldn't have placed this here. This is very durable. Alright, so now we have 3 options on how we want to proceed here. But really, after looking at some of the recipes, pretty much all of these Galacticraft components take these compressed plates. The only way to get these compressed plates is with an Implosion compressor. So the recipe for this thing is really not that bad, it just requires some steel, along with some of the HV circuits we crafted earlier. The casings for this are solid steel. We'll need also the usual input-output maintenance hatch and energy hatch for this. So this thing I'm thinking will go probably right in the corner over there. Apparently it does produce quite a lot of pollution. To actually use this multi-block though, we do need some form of explosive, so we can use TNT, powder barrels, industrial TNT, or dynamite. I think dynamite is the easiest one, but we're going to go for industrial TNT. I believe it is required later on, so I think we should probably just stop and automate this. There's no point to rush to space when we have no infrastructure in place, so yeah. To get any ITNT though, this is going to be some more chemistry today, I think. So the quest for ITNT calls for Toluene. The Toluene, thankfully, we're getting from this distillation tower here. This is one of the other reasons why we wanted this thing. I think it's in this hatch. No, that's butene. Where is our Toluene? There it is, 3rd one up. This we then have to combine in a fluid solidifier to give us gel Toluene. But then the other part for the ITNT, we need nitration mixture. And this is going to be a mix of sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So the nitric acid here, we're actually producing in this large chemical reactor as part of our C10 setup. That is then fed into this chemical reactor here with ethanone to make tetranitromethane. We are starting to back up on tetranitromethane though. It looks like we're not producing enough fuel to use all of this. So I think it's going to be fine in this case to siphon some of this nitric acid off. Then we just have to send that through a mixer with sulfuric acid, which we have right here. And then combine with our gel toluene inside a chemical reactor. And this will give us our industrial TNT. Easier said than done though, right? Well, after some rebuilds and trying to decide a location for this actually, we have our gel toluene being made in this chemical reactor. And if we add a conveyor belt to this chemical reactor here, set to import, it's not going to do anything. Are we missing power? I think. HV recipe, of course. This one I saw we had to do HV, but this one I didn't pay attention to. Okay, let me get an HV chemical reactor. Let's try that again then, shall we? So we need LV conveyor module on the side. Import the gel toluene. We're getting nitration mixture from nitric acid and sulfuric acid coming out of this mixer. Circuit number 1, and we're off. Nice. The ITNT we just sent to the drawer below. So yeah, really quickly how this works is we are taking, well actually there is a second recipe for gel toluene here. So before we looked at this one here in the fluid solidifier, and I did actually start by making a fluid solidifier for this step. But I noticed here if we use the chemical reactor, I remember this recipe from interactions actually. We can use 9 sugar and 1 polyethylene pulp along with just over a bucket of toluene to give us 18 gel toluene. So it's way more efficient than using the fluid solidifier. So the polyethylene pulp we have to input manually to this drawer, but the sugar is actually being supplied automatically. We are sharing this electron pipe which goes along to feed the goldfish over there. Yeah, that comes from the output of our farm on this drawer network. So while I was doing the crop breeding yesterday, I managed to get these sugar beets. The sugar beets are sent into this drawer here, pulled into a basic extractor which extracts it into 9 sugar each. And then it joins the electromagnetic pipe and then into the chemical reactor over there. And then from the drawer we have just some item conduit on the side to pull into the chemical reactor which takes toluene from the distillation tower over there. So as I mentioned last episode actually, I did start to dig out this area for wiring. And I'm probably going to lower it one more just since we have 2 layers of wires here. But yeah, look at this, it managed to fit perfectly in between the light fuel and, I don't even know what this is anymore. Light and heavy fuel lines here. And that comes all the way from the distillation tower. And then yeah, the sulfuric acid tank is right here actually for the buffer, which then has to be in the cells. Normally you get two options on which one you want to put in the cells, but here it looks like we have to can the sulfuric acid. So we buffer in this tank and then just push the cells back and forward into the mixer with the nitric acid, which is also on this ender fluid conduit line, so we just have it filtered in the side of the machine. That creates our nitration mixture and then gets mixed with the gel toluene in the chemical reactor here. And there is actually the issue of this sulfuric acid we have to deal with. What are the chances we have a distillery in here? I think we do. We have 5 distilleries in here. Excellent. Then from here, I guess we just fluid pump on the top here to export the diluted sulfuric acid. And I think it is on circuit 1. Awesome, that's all going to be sent back to our buffer tank for sulfuric acid. And we have our first 58 industrial TNT, which is probably a quest. I bet it wants all the prerequisites as well. 256 toluene. Well, I think we had that in this drawer, but I mean, it's all TNT now, so we're not getting that quest. Alright, well, now that we're making our ITNT, let's try to get our implosion compressor up and running. So we need 4 different versions of the plates. We need bronze, steel, aluminium, which we turn into the alloy in the assembler with some stainless steel, and then implosion compress with our industrial TNT for heavy duty plates. Oh, how generous, it gives us tiny piles of stainless steel back. The aluminium, I don't think is going to be a problem. I've been smelting this like all day, and yeah, we're going to be good for aluminium. The stainless steel, we don't really need that much. Bronze and steel though may become an issue. We'll see what the stock levels are like, but first of all, yeah, let's try to get this implosion compressor built. And I didn't check, we can run this at LV, right? Yeah, it looks like they're all LV recipes. Alright, we got the output bus, the input bus, the maintenance hatch, the muffler hatch is just crafting here. For the energy hatch, we're waiting on this thing. The distillery for the lubricant, which is super loud right there. But let's just start setting this thing up. It's probably going to move from here, but it doesn't need too much infrastructure around this. Alright, let's fire up this implosion compressor, see if it works. After the maintenance, of course. Oh, I just realized this is triple plates. Is this? Yeah, this is 3 ingots per, isn't it? Yeah, 3 ingots per plate here, and we need 37 plates. I think our metal bending machine is going to be busy for a while. I mean, we should have the resources for this. We are very rich. It's just things are not very consolidated, so they're kind of scattered in all chests here. Yeah, more in here from the miners. Lots of this has to be processed. We'll have to get ore processing sooner or later. So while all the plates are being made, I think we should look at the other parts we need for our space travels. We are going to need an oxygen mask. We also need our oxygen gear. Let's see, some HV components, some oxygen pipes, more reinforced glass. I think we have quite a lot of this backlogged. The oxygen concentrator. Oh, I remember these recipes from Divine Journey. Here it doesn't look quite as bad though. Well, I'm not sure if you can compare them really. We need some of our compressed plates for this though. Okay, I have gathered the rest of the materials. Let's see how our bending machine here is doing. That is a lot of plating. We may have went a bit overkill with this. I basically just filled the chest with it, with everything we had, which might not have been such a good idea, but how much TNT do we have by now? Almost 3 stacks. Is that going to be enough? It should be, right? So TNT plus triple plates. Hit it with the hammer. Okay, I think something voided there. Oh, we didn't power the combustion generator. That's right. Let's try this again. There we go. Very loud machine. Oh, we are getting our compressed aluminium plates, and I definitely made too much triple plates here. We'll need them later on anyway. Ah, we did forget about the tin plates though for the oxygen gear. Then the planes go into the assembler, circuit 1 with some molten stainless steel, and this should give us our heavy duty plating. Oh right, but yeah, we do have to send this through the implosion compressor again to make the plates. This is just the alloy ingots. There is our heavy duty plating quest. We can also now pick up the oxygen concentrator, along with the oxygen gear. 4 of the rocket fins. Look at the amount of buttons we need for this thing. A computer case also takes one of these microchips. There is 1 computer case. One rocket control computer. An inverted red cage lamp, used for the nose cone. Two tier 1 rocket engines. Wait, did I not craft enough covers? Oh no, it's there. 2 tier 1 rocket engines. We'll also need some fuel canisters. Some Galacticraft specific wafers. 2 more HV sensors. 2 frequency modules. This has taken so much more TNT than I first imagined. I'm so glad we set up that full automation for TNT there. Oh, actually, we'll need a 3rd frequency module for us to wear. This allows us to hear things in space. The other 2 here are going to be used for the lander, which actually requires another tier 1 rocket engine. Here is the other tier 1 rocket booster. And with that we can pick up our tier 1 lander. Alright, we're making some progress. This is taking a long time, but we're getting there. Next, I think, is to craft our tier 1 rocket. Yeah, we are just short 4 heavy duty plates. Yeah, alright. Nose cone, 4 rocket fins. Although it only calls for 1 rocket engine, and the quest had me craft 2 earlier on. I guess 1 was for the moonlander. I didn't actually realise this. So we're going to be left with an extra rocket engine. Can we recycle this at least? I mean, I guess we can use it for the tier 2. Okay. Forward thinking, that's what we'll call it. Okay, 4 rocket fins, our nose cone, heavy duty plating, the rocket engine, our lander up here. What else do we need? A rocket control, 2 small fuel canisters, and we have our tier 1 rocket. Oh, this is exciting, but we're not ready to go yet. Not yet. We still have some preparations to do. We need a way to breathe on space, of course. I mean, we do have our oxygen mask, but we do need some way to can the oxygen. Which means I guess we use these light oxygen tanks. Not too bad, just some more compressed aluminium. I think we'll go for 4 of these things. Always nice to have some spare. Alright, so the next 2 quests are the oxygen compressor and the oxygen collector. I don't think the collector is strictly necessary, but we're going to craft it anyway. We need 2 more oxygen oh no. Oh, more of these things. Okay, another oxygen fan, some more motors. It's doable. It's gonna take a while to craft though. Some of these quest rewards should be able to help us out here. You know what, as all this stuff is crafting, I did not mean to do that. As all this stuff is crafting, I'm trying to think of a place where we want to actually launch our rockets. The thing is, it has to be somewhere kind of far away. Each time we launch the rocket, it produces something like 1,000,000 gibble, which is a lot of pollution in one go. And I kind of don't want to add to the already polluted area here. It has kind of dissipated since we're not running this steam setup quite as often, and the blast furnaces have been off for quite a while. I also quite like the idea of setting up like a small moon base as well, which is why we're going to pick up the oxygen bubble distributor. This thing can let us actually build a little space oxygen bubble, I don't know what you call it, a little force field in space so that we can breathe. It is quite expensive, but it's going to be worth it, I think. It's going to be fun. And sometimes fun just trumps progress, even if it slows us down. I'm not going for a speed run here on GTNH. I'm starting to like this implosion compressor though, it's awesome. What a cool multi-block. I have just noticed in the past few minutes though that we have a slight problem, and we are running out of cetane. This tank was empty, like a couple of minutes ago actually, so I don't really know what we should do about this. The issue is not the tetranitromethane, we are actually backed up on tetranitromethane. The issue is the fuel system there, which leads down to the oil. Either fuel or biodiesel, we're just not producing enough of either of these two things. Oh, we do have biodiesel. Wait, hold on. I mean, it's still slow, it's not going to keep up, but why are we not extracting the biodiesel here? I have not thoroughly tested this thing. Never active? I bet that would do it, right? Yep. So now this should turn on. Okay, that's going to be a temporary fix. We'll address that later. We do need fuel for our rocket. Let's craft these parts first of all. Starting with the bubble distributor. Oxygen compressor. No quest for this? Oh, it didn't register the concentrator. Oh well, we need another one for the collector anyway. Well, we have all this oxygen equipment from Galacticraft, we may as well scan it for Thaumcraft. I'm not sure how necessary this is, but I've been doing this to like every single item. There's the quest for the compressor. And also the collector. Last machine I think we need for this mission is the fuel loader. And finally, we'll need our launch pad. Alright, lots of quest completions here. I think the rest here is just telling us about what we need to look out for. But still, we're not ready quite yet. There's still a few more upgrades we need to do. First of which is to pick up the adventure backpack. Something we probably should have done a while ago when we got access to aluminium. We do need some hardened leather for this, which takes wax. Yeah, we don't have any bees yet. Can we make... Oh, we can make candleberry. And we don't have an extractor anywhere, so we're going to borrow this one. Oh, it's slow as well. 15 seconds? Of course it is. Now that we have our PVC, we can actually use this to create some tanned leather. Very slowly, but it's quicker than the drying racks over there anyway. Actually, this is only the artificial leather. We have to combine this with some phosphoric acid, which is basically free. It's just some water, sulfuric acid, and apatite. I don't know, this is probably still faster than waiting on the drying racks. Ah, the adventure backpack. I think we can use this in conjunction with our regular backpack that we have here. Okay, we've got a lot of stuff on our back now. We're carrying a lot of things. So yeah, now we have effectively 2 backpacks to work with. And I think this thing can let us sleep during the night since it takes the sleeping bag to craft. I was always looking for that thing on and off the hotbar all the time. So with the double backpacks here, we should have enough storage space to gather everything we need to get up there. I was having a look at one of the other quests here and we can collect some helium-3 and salt water from the moon. The salt water is the main thing though. We can actually electrolyze this for chlorine, and chlorine we use in a lot of different places. To actually collect any of this fuel though, we do need one of these multi-block drilling rigs. It's MV and I'm actually considering making another one to supplement our oil supply here. This basically serves as a replacement to the single block pumps that we've been using up until now for the oil. Just a couple of 100 blocks to the north here. Wait, no, this is south. Yeah, right over here should be our oil rig. And we have, what, 49 buckets in here? May as well swap the fluid tank since we're going to need the cetane relatively soon. And this super tank we can attach to this distillation tower. I added another input hatch here. So this thing is actually capable of doing heavy oil, which we're getting from oil sands. We're almost out of oil sands, and this centrifuge is quite slow. We may have to upgrade this. But yeah, we'll basically just use whatever is available, which will give us more heavy and light fuel, which will distill into fuel, and then into cetane over there. So yeah, the drilling rig, we may as well craft 2 of these things, so long as we have enough steel. This is a lot of steel, and we just used a lot of steel in our space supplies. The only other thing I noticed here is the cobalt gears. I don't think we have any cobalt, do we? No ingots, but we do have 43 dust. Can we blast furnace this? Oh yeah, no problem. Only 1700 heat. We could have done this with copper nickel, I think. Oh, that's right, I did make up some more steel. This should be plenty, right? Oh, wait a second, we can't sleep with this backpack? Maybe we need another one then. Alright, we'll need 16 solid steel machine casings, 4 MV pumps, and also 4 motors, 2 machine hulls, 8 MV circuits, which I think we're actually running low on. Yeah, we have 13 of the good ones and 4 integrated left. It's enough though. 2 more energy hatches, one of which we'll make at MV. The MV one we'll use for the overworld side, we don't really need that to be that fast. But we do have a spare HV one which we can use for the one on the moon. 2 maintenance hatches which I actually batch crafted earlier on. Our cobalt is finished in the blast furnace, we turn this into gears. And was this soldering alloy? Yeah, it's soldering alloy. And the gears should be the last assembler piece. Yeah, nice. Oh wait, I miscounted the pumps. Oh no, yeah of course, we need 8 of these things. We'll need a few more steel frame boxes, I think it's 15 per multi-block. And the quest. So I checked the time on this episode, it's getting quite long. We've done quite a lot today actually. But there is one more machine I would like to build before we go. And this is also something we probably should have done earlier on, which is the Seismic Prospector. So the Seismic Prospector will allow us to find oil fields. We basically feed it a bunch of stuff, so it will output some data, and then we print out a book that will tell us where to go. I think the higher tier picks up a longer radius, but we're going to go LD for this, and we'll also need a basic printer as well. This is how we print off our book. And finally, I think we need a scanner, as the quest mentioned, but we do have one of those over here, which we were using for our crops. Yeah, the basic scanner. Okay, let's give this thing a go. We're a couple of 100 blocks from the base over there. So the quest book gave us some of these powder barrels we can use. I think we can also use our ITNT as well. I think it requires 2 powder barrels, although now that I've reread the quest, I don't think it's like this. I don't think... This is probably going to blow up our prospector. I think we click these on the prospector itself. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 40 seconds. Yeah, over here we would have just had an explosion, I think. Yeah. Okay, after it's done, I think we right click with the data stick. Let's see what happens if we put it in the scanner. Ah, it worked. It gave us the coordinates as well. So now I think we put the data stick in the printer with some squid ink, 3 pieces of paper. Alright, this gives us printed pages. One more step. And we're going to have to do this on the moon as well next episode. The printed pages have to go in an assembler with 1 leather and some refined glue. And this gives us our written book. Nice. And game crash. Oh, that's not good. I don't know what's going on there. It didn't crash the server, just the game. That's going to take some investigation before next episode, but I think with that we're going to wrap things up here today. I'll try to get that sorted out if I can, and then place our oil drilling rig here on the overworld to build up some more cetane. But we should have all our preparations in place for the moon. That was a lot of crafting today. In fact, how is our cetane doing? We're starting to build up again. But yeah, that is going to do us today. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all soon for some more Gregtech New Horizons.